Hey everyone, Simon here. For those of you who don't know me, I'm mainly the author of several books on Dharma. Dharma means how to live your best life, the five Dharma types, the Dharma method, sex, love, and Dharma, and even gambler's Dharma. But the topic of today is really not anything directly associated with those books. It's a question that many students and friends simply ask me, which is, who's going to win the next election? And although I don't specialize, I'm not a specialist in mundane astrology, which is what this uh, field is called, the field of predicting mundane events. It is within the scope of astrology, and as a practicing astrologer, at least part of the time, it is within the scope of what I do. So I'm very happy to answer this question. Before I do, I would like to give a little bit of context about the previous election, because I was asked this before in early 2016. And in fact, I'll play here the question for those of you who are interested. Uh, but because this was a few years ago, because I'm not a specialist in this area, I deferred to what others had to say. So the chart was very clear. The chart at the time, and you'll even hear the students who had only taken one class on how to read that special chart, how they reacted when they saw it. The students were left-leaning, so I'm sure they were voting for Hillary at the time. But it was very clear that the chart was for him, but I walked it back. I was too scared to say it because the people whom I admired, they all said, well, Hillary's got it in the bag. Well, we all know what happened then. So I'm going to play this, and I'm bringing this up for a reason, which I'll bring up here in a second. So let's see. How do we play this video here? Oops. Let's play this at normal speed.
On everyone's mind. I know you're a bit of a gambling man, so what about Hillary and Donald?
Okay. What about, tell me your question specifically right now. Let's do it.
My question specifically is, who's going to be the next president of the United States of America?
And well, and that's not specific. This question has to
not? All right. Is Donald Trump going to be the next president of the United States? Sorry for bringing his name up, but.
Okay. So, is Donald Trump going to be the next president? Here's, I mean, look, it's not. What?
Linnea's having a fit.
So I'm laughing at this even now because you heard the reaction of one of the students who was clearly not a Trump supporter at the time, as soon as she saw the chart, because it's an easy chart to interpret. So so this time around, I'm going to give you my prediction without really considering what the so-called experts have to say. And I'm going to use a method that is not based on the chart. It's not even based on Trump's chart. It's based on the question, just as we used in the 2016 chart. Although I just want to differentiate. In a person's chart, you can tell if they will have a rise or a fall in status. So, for example, we did this on Kapil's interview in January of 2018. And it was very interesting because we predicted a status change, possible impeachment, health problems, things like that. And you can see here, someone actually noted that his status changed from an ordinary president to the third president in history ever to be impeached. So that particular technique that we applied to say that it would be between November of 2019 to April 2020, that was the period that we predicted. It works. It works in this is called KP astrology, which is very precise in predicting events, not just for career, but marriage and stuff like that. So that is one technique you can use. I'm simply going to be doing the question chart. Will Trump get reelected? And this is the chart that I asked, and it shows will it be Trump or a Democrat? And so the answer to this question, drum roll please, is most likely no. There is a massive fall from power here. And the reason, and I've pulled more than one of these charts actually, so I'm just showing you one of them. This shows a fall, like it could be a literal fall, but a fall from power, a fall from grace. And that could be due to illness. It could, and again, I've been talking about this even since last year, uh, abdominal things related here, abdominal, kidney, pancreas. Now, we know the guy drinks like 10 Diet Cokes a day. He takes, if you listen to Joe Rogan, you probably know that he, that his doctor prescribes him diet pills, which are basically stimulants, you know, strong. So this is not good for the kidneys and adrenals, which are probably severely stressed. So abdominal, kidney, you know, something related to it. So it could be a health issue related to his kidneys and digestion and so on, and even reproductive organs. Um, it now, having said that, that doesn't mean that he would, even if he didn't have health problems, that he would win. This shows a fall from power. However, Neptune being exactly conjunct the seventh cusp here, it shows a tremendous amount of confusion about the results. So, what could happen? I don't know. I'm prognosticating. My guess is as good as anyone's. Is that someone else wins the election, but it's disputed, and it's heavily disputed. What could happen is that he wins the election, but then it's disputed and it's proved that he didn't win. Something like that. But in my opinion, it's not likely that he wins. But even if he does win, it'll be disputed, or health problems, you know, may interfere with his finishing the term. Now, so I asked this question in December. I've asked this question a couple of times, and every time it shows that there will be a fall from power. Here, the Lord of the fifth of the 10th house goes to the fifth. The fifth is the eighth to the 10th, so it indicates a loss of a fall from power, and it's conjunct Pluto, so it's quite devastating to the person. And in predicting this, I'm going against the pundits, the astrological pundits, who now they're like, well, he's got a very strong chart, which he does, by the way. So he should probably win the election. The same people who said that he didn't have a chance of winning, you know, 40 years ago. So I'm gonna just trust my own prashna, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm okay with that. A prashna is a question for the matter. So those of you who aren't astrologers, you can just ignore all this astro speak. But there you have it. So what is my prediction? My prediction is that 2020 will begin will begin a period that's very difficult for the United States at the end of 2020. It could be financially difficult with a pullback. Trump has been very good for the financial markets. And if he does not get elected, this can indicate, you know, especially if it's someone who is more on the left, like Bernie, it can indicate a pullback in the financial system, and so on. So, but it's this kind of pullback is going to happen anyway, regardless of who's elected. So it's not that someone like Bernie or someone from the left would cause it. It would happen at the same time. So even if Trump is reelected and something happens, you know, he could get, you know, assassinated. I don't know. I don't want to say that. You don't want to say that about anyone. But that could also be a problem for the markets. But my guess is that due to health reasons and the sort of kind of the hole that he's dug himself into with all of this, you know, constant lying and nefarious kind of activities, that it will catch up to him. And I don't think, whether you like him or not, I mean, he constantly lies. So, I mean, you could love him for that or not, and you can vote for him, but it's pretty objectively true that it's very difficult for him to tell the truth. So I think based on the chart, he's likely to not get reelected, and that's my prediction. Now, which of the Democrats will it be? See, that's the part that's a little confusing, because it should be able to pick it out. But Neptune here is creating a lot of, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. And I would give you my opinion if I did. So that's my opinion. It's not based on a whole lot of research. I haven't looked at this for days and agonized over it. It just, we pulled a question, and the chart for this time around shows he's not going to win. The chart for last time was pretty obvious, even to the most beginning of students. In fact, I'll pull it up here. Here it is, I believe. Yeah, see, we asked this July of 2016, and that's when everyone gasped, because the ruler of the ascendants in the 10th, sun is in the 10th. It's a very powerful, using the techniques we had learned, a benefic in a kendra, along with a dignified malefic, sun has digbala, is very powerful, yes. So that was a question then. This is the question now. And so it seems pretty good for a no answer. So if you have questions or comments, leave them below, and we'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.